Okay, can you see my screen, Mega? When I toggle, can you see the screen? Okay. Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining Anil and Mega. Nice to know about you guys. Uh, myself, Guru Prasad, and you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Because I'm on the other screen. Can you see? Can you confirm? Okay. So my name is Guru Prasad, and this is my profile. I'm a certified AWS trainer, plus I'm an solution architect, and I am an MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer. I carry forward with 16 plus years experience in terms of your Windows, in terms of your Linux, in terms of cloud platform like AWS and Azure. So I've been in this industry. I started my career in 2005, and I was working as an hardware engineer where I go to the company and work on the networking cables, laying the cables, like the crimping the cables. You might have, if you worked on the company where you see a workstations where you have a LAN cables, right? So those things I've started with that, and I was very curious about what will happen in the industry. So I joined with IBM, and I was with IBM. I was with Wipro and other companies, right? So my clouds started, see, because the cloud is started, if you remember, like 2012 and all, Amazon came with the cloud, right? So that time it was not much, and people were like, okay, what exactly we have to do, and we don't know what exactly we have to do, right? So the moment the cloud is boomed in the industry, and what I did is I started learning AWS. So now, let's say you are very fresh to the industry and you don't know what is on premises, you don't know what is cloud. Hey Guru, I'm little confused, what exactly I have to do with this cloud? And people will say, cloud, 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 what is this? Okay, so let me give an example. Can you confirm, Mega? Can you see my screen? Please confirm in the chat. Mega and Anil, please confirm in the chat, or Renu from Visualpath, please confirm me whether you can able to see my screen. Okay, thank you so much. Now, let's imagine you work for a company. Let's say this is my company. Let's say this is my on-premises environment. Let's say, for example, abc.com. Let's say this is my company name. Now, let's say this is a big campus and we call it as on-prem. That means it's a physical location. Let's say physical location. Now, let's say Mega or let's say Anil will start the company. For example, now if you want to start a company, let's say a physical company where people will get into your company and work. Now, what I have to do first thing is I have to invest on infrastructure. Correct? So first thing is I need to infrastructure, I need to invest. Now second is I need to recruit the people. Let's say HR will take care on the recruitment. Correct? Now you need to, recruitment is can be your can be anything, office boy or administrators or anyone who works in the company. Their responsibility. Now they have to take care on the building. They have to take care on the power. Infrastructure comes with everything. Now let's say I have my company which starts from, let's say, for example, 2500 employees. 2500 employees. Now this will be very difficult because 2500 employees has to be seated in the office location. Now I need my infrastructure should be very good because these 2500 people should fit into that particular place. Correct? Now these 2500 employees, they will get a laptop. Correct? So I'm going to take the what do you say, icons, don't mind, so that for clarity purpose. So let's say laptop. See, everyone is without laptop, you guys can't work, right? So that's why company gives a laptop. Correct? So let's say this 2,500 people gets a laptop. Let's say I'll put some kind of test for you. Now I have put I have already given my employees laptop, and these employees will have laptops. Everything will have provided by the company. Now to create these users, 2,500 users, I need to have something called as a Windows server. Let's say because it is a on-premises environment, so I need to purchase, I need to invest on Windows server on servers. Let's say that is called domain controller. You don't need to know all this. I'll come back to the cloud. So I'm just giving an example. What is the benefit if I use cloud, right? So if I want to start with the company, let's say I have someone called a domain controller who can manage entire people. That's called domain controller, who controls entire environment. Let's say in as an administrator, my duty is to create a user here. Let's say I will create a user called user 1 Anil. Now user 2 I'll create Meghna. User 3 I'll create like Rain. So what I'll do, I will create something like users like this. Then I'll allocate the password, and I'll be sharing this to the user who joins the company. Now what happens? The 2,000 employees, 2,005 employees, it is suddenly increased to 5,000 employees. So there is an increase of 5,000 employees. Increase of 5,000 employees. Now what happens here? Again, I need to purchase a domain. I need to purchase a big size machines, and I need to invest lot of stuff here. Correct? So this is basically the cost is more. What is it? Cost is expensive because as a company it's very difficult to run, right? Because you need to invest on the infrastructure. The cost will be very expensive, and that's why we insist the company. For example, let's say, okay, my dear friend, why can't you switch over to cloud? Because we give a lot of benefits here. Let's say I don't want to. For example, we will recommend to save the cost. Let's say to save the cost, what we say here, please switch to cloud platform. And as we discussed, it is AWS, Amazon Web Services. Now, what is the benefits here? I can ignore all these guys, correct? I can ignore the infrastructure. Let's say what I can do, I can ignore infra. No, I don't need to have a office space, a big space. People can work from anywhere in this world. Only thing is they need to have a connection, right? The internet connection. So recruitment will be there, yes, because they have to hire the people, but not physically, virtually. Now I don't require a physical machine here. Everything is created under the cloud, right? For example, everything you need to have, an employee should have an internet access, and they can connect from the office. In the home they can sit, they can connect using their own internet. Now this is the benefit. For example, if I switch over to AWS, so AWS is a public cloud again, right? Now they'll give a provision. Okay, I can give a setup. Let's say all this infrastructure, what you're seeing here, I don't need in the building, right? I don't require a building. Now my cost is already saved, correct? Now this AWS, Amazon Web Services, what they do have a locations. So let me go back to the AWS. Now let's say this is my AWS. This is my AWS. Now let's imagine you want to, you're sitting under let's say I'm going to copy the laptop again. Now, let's say this is Anil laptop, Meghna laptop, and Reenu laptop. So let's say, as we know that after COVID, nobody is going to the office. Physically, people are scared. So now it's fine. But still, to save the cost from the office, what they say, okay, please work from the home. Now everyone has a work from home. What specialty here is, let's say, Anil work as a developer. Let's imagine. I don't know who else joined, but still don't mind about the names. And let's say Meghna joined as a cloud admin. And let's say Reno as working as a, let's say, billing administrator who take care of the front end billing admin. And let's say Guru who joins as a cloud admin again. Now, as I said, I'm not into physical location. Everything is on the virtual, correct? Everything, like you need to have an internet connection. Everyone. The moment I connect with the internet, now let's say as a developer, what is your role here as a developer? Let's say you created some custom applications. Now you kept that in the AWS environment. Let's say you have created an application, and let's say this application, let's say some application name, any name. This application, as a Anil is a developer, he deployed under EC2. What is this EC2, guys? Elastic compute. That means it is a virtual machine. Virtual machine. Because you need to have a machine to install your application, correct? Because there are a lot of chances, okay, no, I want to use my uh, infrastructure as services, or I want to use as a PaaS services, that is fine, right? Still your application will work on the back end. For example, if I use something called as, see, there are a lot of types. One is infrastructure as a services. You don't need to be worried on this because we have to go in deeper. We have something called as PaaS, and we have something called as SAS. So we are not going to discuss on software as services because everything is taken care by the provider. But when it comes to your infrastructure as services, you have to take care of all this, like virtual machine. Let's say AWS will give you a data center. Like for example, this is provided by AWS. This particular machine, the physical environment, the physical machine, that means you have a this virtual machine, right? This virtual machine is controlled by AWS, but the data and your application will be managed by you. You got getting my point? Managed by you. See here, I don't need to worry about my infrastructure. AWS is keep monitoring this machine, what is happening this machine, whether the physical machine, because this machine hosted on their physical environment like this. For example, they will have something called as host machine. Host machine. Now you guys will be confused what is this host machine and all. We are going to talk about that. See, this is a physical machine in their environment. Let's say you guys are new to this cloud, but data center, how this machine will be connected, physical machines. So we have something called as data center. So now let's say I was working with IBM, I was with this data center only. So what we do is, let's say for example, this data center, what exactly they do, they will place all the servers here. They'll place all the servers. This is not me, this is just a screenshot. So all the servers which is placed here. Now if you think that, okay, my data center is on premises, you have a physical environment where administrator will get into that physical environment. But what AWS is giving here, they are giving the same thing, but it's connected with virtual. So I don't want to invest on this servers. No, I don't require to invest on the server. I will just invest on my resources, and I will purchase this entire AWS environment instead of instead of connecting my on premises physically, I will use this virtually. Now this the same thing, like you have something called as let's say hypervisor, that is not part of this. But what they do, they create a host machine. This is a physical server. For example, you're seeing here, right? This is the same physical data center they will have, the AWS will have, but you are connecting virtually and you're creating top of this. Like say they have OS, they'll have here OS, operating system. They'll have something called as hypervisor. This all is a basic, but I'm going to talk about when we talk about the after, when we get into AWS, right? I'm going to talk about what is this hypervisor, what is this OS, how it is designed, right? In top of this hypervisor, Azure will give you, sorry, AWS will give you all this. So what Anil do? Anil will go on top of this. He will create all these virtual machines, right? So let me take this code. Let's say what he will do, say if for example he wants to create a virtual machine, or he will go directly log into the portal. I'm going to demonstrate how to create a virtual machine, and he will just create here. Let's say one, he can create multiple machines, but will Anil will have access to here about the data center? For sure he will not have access. He can just create. For example, see, since you guys are new to Azure, AWS, I'm sorry, I work on Azure also, so don't mind if the word is okay. Now, let's say a best example for your cloud. Why you have to switch for the cloud? Okay, let's imagine what is the disadvantage, what is the advantage of if you have an on-premises. Let's imagine you have an on-premises. Now, the best example for your cloud is, let's say I've kept the folders, files, everything here. Let's say I kept it folder. I kept all the files and folders in on premises. Let's say this is my on prem. Now let's say this is Anil's data. Okay. And let's say this is Meghna's data. Now you want to access this. So what do? You just connect from the from let's say from your home, right? You will connect using the VPN. You'll connect your systems. So now you'll go here in the VPN, or you'll connect to your data. Now you'll connect to your data here, and Meghna will connect from data. But when the advantage here, if you're using AWS platform, example is, let's imagine everyone will see Netflix, correct? Everyone sees Amazon Prime. Everyone will go and upload your data. For example, this is my Netflix. Let's say I'm going to give the Netflix. Now this is my Amazon Prime, and this is my Google Drive. Guys, you tell me, you go and create your Gmail account, correct? And the drive, Google Drive, and what you do, you will, sitting by the home, you will upload a file, correct? I hope everyone accepts all this. Now what you'll do, you'll go and upload the file. Once you upload the file, where it will store, guys? It will store in a cloud provider, right? Either in the AWS or any other cloud provider. Now the advantage here is, if you have a mobile, right, you can log into your mobile and you can access, you can upload the file, you can access all this content, correct? Anywhere in this world, if you have an internet connection, either mobile, tab, doesn't matter. But what I'll do here, I will just go and log in with my Gmail, and I will log into Amazon Prime. I will install the software called Amazon Prime, and I can see all the movies. let's say Netflix, but where is the servers, guys? Who is maintaining this? Everything is on cloud. All the movies are part of servers. They all this, it will be under the location, right, in the backend. You are not going to see where it is saved. Have you ever visualized, guys? Okay, I'm just storing my file, but where it is storing, did you visualize anytime? Because see, I was very curious when I was, oh, how these movies are coming here. Okay, now you think, oh, yeah, I have an account. Netflix given my account. I logged in, but I can see any movies, right? Oh God, how it is possible? Okay, I have logged into Google Drive, and I saved all the files. I will upload like 15 GB. They're going to give, for example, they're going to give 15 GB of the space. Correct. I uploaded all the files, but where it is saving? I just went for my mobile, and I could access all the data, right? That is where the data is saved on the cloud. This is what benefits. Are you investing on the cloud? No. Just you're paying only for your internet, and you're paying for your subscription. But you're not paying for the cloud. No, you're not paying for the infrastructure. The all the Have you seen Netflix goes down? Have you seen Amazon Prime goes down? Lakhs to crores to people they will be watching the movie, but one certain limitation is there. One account can be used only in one mobile or two mobiles. There is a restriction. That is the way you go for the plan. But have you visualized anytime Netflix was down? For sure, I never faced that problem in my life. See, why I'm giving an example of Netflix and Amazon, I could have given any other example. Why I'm giving this example? To know about this is environment, right? You should keep in your mind that, because something which is known, it will get in your mind very easily. Correct. Which you don't know, if you learn also, you'll not get it. But for example, Amazon Prime, I know that I watch movies, and where the data is storing, it is stored under the AWS environment or any other environment. Amazon, of course, the name itself Amazon, right? It will be under. So what we do in the real time is, let's say, as I said, the Amazon Prime will never go down. Why? Because what AWS does is, they will create in the back end, let's say one machine, let's say two machine, let's say three machines, let's say four machines, no problem. In the back end, they'll all upload the movies here. They will upload the movies. The moment someone is accessing, in the back end, it will keep increasing the machines. All it will take, all these machines will have. For example, if one machine is going down, I don't have to be worried, because we have something called as horizontal scaling. In the back end, if any one machine goes down, what AWS does is, they will increase the one machine by the back end. They'll increase. They'll increase by one. If this machine is going down, I don't need to be worried, right? It will go up and running. So, for example, have you noticed, guys? Another example why AWS is very strong. Let's say you have you might have installed any software called Amazon. You have a software called Amazon, right? So let's say, for example, you will have a laptop here again. So what do you do? In this laptop, you will install, or in your mobile or in your laptop, you will visit Amazon website. Correct. So now you want to have a purchase. You want to purchase some goods or mobile, or it's a festival offer. Let's say festival offer. So anybody will lose that festival offer? No way, right? So festival offer. Now, if what is advantage? See, now I'm going to talk about advantages only using AWS. So advantages of using AWS. Now, advantage of using AWS environment. What happens here is, let's say Anil and Meghna, so they'll be sitting in mobile in the laptop or mobile. They're very curious to go for this offer, and this offer is on Amazon. So nowadays you have the app. You don't need to have a laptop. You can do the any work in the mobile itself, right? Now festival offer is going on. Let's say they will log in here. The traffic increases. Now number of users, right? So let's say users, not see, have you come across let's say only Meghna is using, have you come across um only let's say Anil is using? You will not come to know. You will never ever come to know. No, I don't have that options. Do you control that how many users can log in? Have you seen that? No way. At one time, lakhs, crores to people, they will visit Amazon. You can't say that okay, how many people have visited Amazon website, right? Festival offer, right? So the traffic, it's more. Now what happens if the traffic is more? Let's imagine everyone will go to Forum Mall or any mall, right? If the entrance is, let's say, heavy crowded, so what you will do? Security, what you will do? He will say namaskaram and get into your mall. They will just check it out and they will leave. But how they are controlling? Because security here is controlling all these people in real time. This traffic comes and it's the Amazon, all the traffic hits. What Amazon does is they will have something called as in the back end, they will have something called as a load balancer. A load balancer. So this we are going to talk about in AWS. As of now, this is a demo. Load balancer. I'm going to show so many videos. I'm going to show a lot of labs which contains AWS live demos, right? So now, what Amazon does is I should not lose all this customer. Anil is very important for me. Meghna is very important customer. Renu is very important customer for me, and other customers. I don't leave all these customers. The website should never go down. So what they do, Amazon, they will connect to my load balancer here. Now, in the back end, what this load balancer does is this load balancer is the name here is Amazon.com. Now, whoever reached the Amazon.com, what Amazon does is, okay, my dear friend, no problem. In the back end, they'll have virtual machine. What they do, they will have a virtual machine on the back end. One, let's say two, you can't count it. It depends on the application. So they will keep all this machine in the back end. All this machine. Right? What happens here is all these machines will have the application is installed, right? So this application is installed on top of that, and data is of course it's on the database. Now the traffic, it's my Amazon website. So what this load balancer does is it will route the traffic to the first machine. Again, Meghna, from Meghna's mobile, he got a request. It will route the traffic to second machine. Anil is doing the third machine. Reno is doing fourth machine. Now again, Anil will someone else browse. It will go to the first machine. So like this, the traffic will exchange and it will load balance between all this. Now all of a sudden, let's say a festival offer, who will leave the festival offer? Definitely I will not leave because I'm very curious on the offers and I will purchase. It's a human tendency, right? So because to save the cost, see, end of the day, you have to save the money, correct? Now even Amazon will think that okay, Meghna is very delighted customer, Anil is very delighted customers, I should not leave them, correct? Now what they do, if the traffic is more, this machine will not have the potential to withstand. Okay, see for example, I can have maximum of 3 chapati. Okay, can I have 20 chapati? No, my limit is 3. What happens if 20 chapatis, if I have it, either I'll get vomiting, or my stomach will get upset. Correct, that is one. Same thing in real time. If the traffic is hitting my load balancer, even load balancer is also like a human being, right? The traffic is hitting him, right? The example, the traffic manager, how many traffic he has to obey, how many traffic he has to control, right? So that's why what Amazon does is, there is a different technology called auto scaling. Okay, my dear friend, no problem, you bring any traffic anywhere in this world who is accessing amazon.com. In the back end, what AWS does is, okay, if my machine, let's say this machine, if my machine goes, the machine CPU goes 80% or 70%. CPU means central processing unit, guys. It's like the when you go to the task manager, you can see the CPU utilization. So the moment that my machine goes utilization of 70%, what Amazon doing here? Okay, no problem. Increase by one in the back end. It will increase by one. Increase by one. See, example is increase by one. But if there is lot of people are coming, we don't know what is happening in the back end. I can increase by 2, or I can increase by 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, no problem, based on the traffic. So for real time, it will be more than 100, 200, right? So what they do is, they will just go on the back end. The moment there is a traffic, I don't have any problem. If my machine goes behind my 70%, what Amazon doing here is, they will increase by 1 in the back end, and increase by 1 if my second machine goes 70%, no problem, increase by 2, third machine increase by 1, fourth machine. Now, to save the cost, so this is getting increased, no problem, my amazon.com is absolutely working fine. There is no issue at all, people are happy, and it's there is no spike in the website. Why? Because I have something called as horizontal scaling, which is nothing but auto scaling. Whether this is possible in your on premises, guys? No way. How will you going to increase your physical machine? The moment some traffic happens, in order to get one physical machine, we have to struggle, right? You need to have an approval from your change manager. It has to go with lot of approvals. Then you have to go to the market, purchase the hardware, come and install the OS. Oh God, it's all headaches, right? So in terms of your Amazon, you don't need to worry about the infrastructure. Okay, I need this. My website should never go down. In the back end, I should increase this. That's called auto scaling. We are going to see these labs in the real time. I'm going to talk about. See, for example, if I say load balancer, we have a lot of load balancer, network load balancer, application load balancer. We have a lot of other load balancer. We are going to talk about that in real time, right? So now, the moment my auto scaling is, okay, how to save the cost here? Okay, the traffic is, now there is no traffic. Offer is ended. Offer is closed. What do you do, guys? Meghna will say, or Anil will say, "Eh, bah, I purchased. Why I have to log into Amazon again? I will do next year." I hope you guys are laughing. It's the human tendency, right? If my offer is, I've accepted my offer, I got the iPhone, which is Pro Plus 14. Why I have to go Amazon again to purchase? Correct. Now the traffic is minimal. What Amazon doing is, okay, my dear friend, if my laptop, sorry, this server, if it goes, if it comes down to 30, 40%. My CPU utilization is 40% because there is no traffic. What Amazon does? Decrease by one. decrease by 1. So based on the timings, for example, when the traffic was more, this increased, and this virtual machine which is increased, it was running since 58 minutes. Let's say this is 45 minutes. Let's say this is 59 minutes. Now, as per the calculation, which machine goes down, which machine they're going to remove? They'll remove first this machine, remove this machine, remove first, and this remove second, because everything is 60 minutes. They will be calculating the price for 1 hour. So 1 hour, it is 1 minute. The moment I remove this, my billing will go off, right? So the longest minutes which is running, they will remove first that, right? And they will remove the shortest next. See, if you use 1 minute, 2 minutes, doesn't matter, but still you have to pay. Now, what happens if my CPU goes down and it decrease by one, decrease by two, decrease by three? Like this, they can achieve high availability. But this is not possible, very difficult in terms of your on premises. Now, as a demo, people are curious, right? For example, as a demo, I'm going to show a virtual machine. Now, let's say in your physical environment, I'm going to give example of physical environment and virtual environment. Now, in physical environment, you need to purchase a server, correct? You need to go and purchase a physical server. Let's say physical, sorry guys, physical server. Now, let's say this is my physical server, which is very good here. This is my physical machine. Okay, so this is my physical machine which I purchased. Okay. Let's say not only one, I'm going to purchase two. Now I paid around lakhs, crores together. Sometimes machines are lakhs together, crores together. Now this is my physical machine. So you should know the difference. That's why I'm just stretching on this physical machine. But in my real time, I will go a step by step. Okay, what is required, what is not required, right? So since this is a demo, I'm just covering all the part, right? So now in the physical machine, you purchased. Now what you have to do? You have to go and install the OS, correct? You need to install the OS, update, install the application. All this you have to maintain, right? But in terms of cloud, by sitting on your machine, let's say, what you do? So let's say you'll sit on your laptop, you don't require physical machine, right? You'll just log into, I'm going to show that as well, guys. So I'm logging into Amazon website. Meantime, what I'll do, Amazon website, I'll go get into AWS portal. This is called AWS console, we call it as console. Instead of you physical machine, you will go create, by sitting in your home itself, you can create, let's say, windows server. I can go, I can get a Windows server here. I don't need to purchase the hardware, nothing. And I want to use Linux server here, Linux, Ubuntu, or anything, guys. I want to go for Linux. So instead of purchasing the system hardware, I will go and create my in the AWS itself. Let's see how we can create. So AWS console. Now you have a console, right? You can create a console. You can sign into the console. So let's say I'll sign. So basically, I don't require any hardware here. I don't require any software here. I will just go and just log in. So as a user, I'm going to give the account for the users, which I'm an administrator. I'm going to create the user account in the real time. I'm going to give. Since it's a demo, I will create this. I'm going to log in with my Gmail account and I need a password. Never. So since I need to control my security, so I'm using MFA 4049. What if someone hack your machine? What if someone hack your account? Gone. That's why I have used my MFA multi-factor authentication. Very important, correct? So when you want to, for example, Meghna wants to pay the fees. What she will do? She will open the Google Pay, and Renu will give the UPI. The moment transfer, what happens? You get OTP, right? Without OTP, you can't enter the password, or without your password, you can't. Same thing to to protect your environment. I used something called as Google Authenticator. It should authenticate, otherwise, it's anybody can go and log in, right? So now I'm gonna launch a machine, EC2. That's called virtual servers in the cloud. See now in the on premises, what I have to do, I have to have a physical machine. I need to buy the machine, but here I'll go with the virtual machine, right? So let me go here. Now let's say instances. You don't need to be worried on this still, because we will talk about what is this instances, instance types, what is a launch template, what is the spot request, what are the savings plan, what is reserved instance, what is dedicated. This all we are going to talk about in real time scenario, right? So if I want to talk about instances, it will take at least 10 days, right? So let's say the name, what is the name here? Let's say this is my web server, the name of the web server. Now what you want, you want Windows machine. Let's say I'll say Windows machine. Okay, this is my free tier. This is not a billable. What kind of machine you want? Okay, you want 2022. Okay, you want 16. You want 12. No problem, I'll give you the machine. And which machine, which type you want to. So I'm going for a freelance, free eligible. This we are going to see in real time. Okay, instant type. See, I'll go for a big size machine only, always in a real time. For example, laptop. You'll go for i5, i7 or i8. So I will go for i7, right? I more than the processor, right? So I'll go a better quality type, because it should not get slow, right? So I will compare my instant types. So these are all bundled together. What AWS is doing, okay, this is the machine, you want this configuration, take it. Whatever the configuration you want, you take it. So this we are going to talk about the instant type in detail when I'm showing my demo. I mean, say in the real class. Key pair. So if someone wants to have a key pair, right? So let's say new key pair, because I need a password, correct? So I will download the PEM file, create a PEM file, and it's got downloaded. Can you see here? The PEM file. Without this PEM file, you cannot access your machine. That you have to keep it. That we are going to talk about, because this PEM file is very important. Keep it, right? And network settings, I'm going to talk about. For example, I want to control this anywhere. My machine has to be connected anywhere in this world. So I will allow the traffic. And this all by default. I'm going to launch the machine. See, networking and all, I'm not talking here. Networking is a big ocean now. Again, I'm just giving an example of virtual machine. Now, this is done. Can you see my virtual machine? But in physical environment, you need to purchase the machine. You need to have approvals. You need to purchase the OS. You need to purchase the license. You need to install all. How many minutes took, guys, to installing machine? How many minutes it took? Not even 1 minute. Correct? Not even 1 minute. Correct, guys? Now I want to take a control. How to take a control? Copy this. It's something called as MSSTC. So what is not happening? Why it is not happening? So I need to see security group here. I've used the default security group. It's a default, right? Default one. And let's say edit the inbound ports. I'll add the rule RDP. This is RDP, right? So RDP anywhere in this world, add the setting. So let's say VPC. So VPC is basically networking that we will talk about later. But you can see how fast it is. But I need to allow the things. So let's see that. Mm, okay, I will create something called as Internet Gateway New. This is all I'm going to talk. You don't need to worry because I need to provide the internet to my network. Otherwise, it will not get. So I will just add that. The moment I add that internet, it will get connected. It takes some time, guys. So let's see. So the moment I go back to my EC2 instances, you can see my machine is running. So I need to see which one is tagged under the security groups. So let's say networking, security, networking, security, change the security groups. Mm. So this is, I'll go for default one. If you remember, it has taken Wizard 3. That's why it is not launching. Now the moment I do this, it will launch. It takes some time, it will launch. So within a minute, my machine is running and I can see all this, right? Very faster, you don't need to require, for example, I want to change the machine type. So instant type I want to change. I can change it. I can just stop the machine, change the instant type, right? So for example, if I go on to go, let's say manage instance state, instance settings, I want to go for auto scaling, I want to attach this machine to auto scaling, I want to change the shutdown behavior, I want to see that, so this all comes under, I want to attach to this RDS database, I want to attach a network interface, I want to attach a security groups which you have seen just now. So monitor, I want to monitor these machines. Everything can be done in the real time. Correct? Very faster. Why it's not connecting? Still it's loading up. So VPC. So this we are going to see in a real time. Usually I'll create my own VPCs and do that. Since I'm using the default one, lot of settings you have to use it. So you can see here route table, you can see the main table, internet gateway, whether I've attached to that. This you can see default available, and this is the default, and subnets you have a default subnets. So you can see all this we are going to talk about in detail. If I say my EC2 I have launched, see basically I will go how to create a VPC, in how to use your, see for example this machine is running, you can see all the metadata where it is running. Let's say networking, if you see networking, see public IP address, subnet. If you see subnet one, where it is connecting, it's connected to my subnet here, subnet defaults, right? So this we are going to talk about in real time. So we are going to talk about all this in real time. See, you can see the magic here is within 2 minutes my machine is ready. Correct, guys. My machine is within 2 minutes. My machine is ready. So why this is not launching? Because I have a settings problem here. What is the settings here? I'll go back to the VPC, and all this, it's a small issues. You don't need to be worried, right? Route tables. I'll see whether my route table is associated. See, now I can see here I need to associate with my subnets, and there's something called as route, right? Local network gateway. So I will just edit the routes, right? And you can see, add the routes. All the traffic which is coming to my machine, it has to go with my internet gateway. Otherwise, how I'll get the connection? My new internet gateway connect. So I will remove this and add this. You can see here now, the moment I go, it will work. See, it is asking for password input. So I will give the demo like this only in my real time. I will ask probing question. Hey, what happens? Why it is not working? Why it is not working? Right? So small changes if you make also it will not work. Right? Fine. So any doubts so far? You can ask questions. So you can ask questions now. I'm going to stop sharing the screen.